was putting in these NFT rails, I was considering having a third rail further up, and that's heading for a couple of metres up in the air, and the little pumps that I got didn't have quite enough power to push water more than about 2 metres up in the air. So this one here, this optimistically claims it does I think 450 litres per hour, and it says it does a 1 metre head. So that little pump, that was about £15 I think, but that pump wasn't enough to get the water up in the air. This is a 670 litre per hour, and this one says it has a max head of 1.65 metres. So again, that pump wasn't enough to get the water 2 metres high in the air. So I started looking around for a little bit of a ever so slightly bigger pump that'd get the water 2 metres up in the air, and I had a look on Amazon and I found something going quite cheap. So I found this little pump on Amazon, and I thought this little pump looked quite nice. It said it did 3,800 litres per hour, which was quite a lot more than the little 670 litre per hour thing, but you know, that's a very optimistic rating in the first place. And yeah, I thought that looked like quite a cute little unit, so I ordered myself one of them. Now it's time to talk about the importance of scale here, because on a thumbnail photo on Amazon there's not really much difference, but when things actually come down to it, there's quite a difference in size between these pumps, but that big pump is rather good fun. Let's have a play with that.
Okay, so what we got going on here, we've got 50 litres of water in the blue barrel, pump hooked up just to circulate it round. So this is the kind of flow rate we're getting. Whoa! That's the kind of failure to prime that we're getting. Okay, so that's with the pump running, and we get quite a reasonable flow rate there. Let's see how quickly we actually pump 50 litres of water away. So, ready, steady, go! There we are, that's about 50 seconds.
Okay, now this is an experiment that I know is going to end badly and probably with me getting wet, but I wanted to show a bit more of kind of the distance this thing can throw water. So I've got a bit of bicycle inner tube just shoved on a hose adapter on the end there. Hopefully the pump's primed. Let's see what happens. Excellent. 140mm through hole drain. Okay, I've just finished solvent welding the bits I think need solvent welding. I just want to give you a rundown of what I'm doing that's a bit different here, because normally you have a fairly small pump that runs continuously and your growing bed fills up slowly until the water reaches a certain height, and then it drains out really quickly. But because of my error of scale when I bought that pump a few months ago, I've got a pump that floods things really quickly. So my idea is I'm going to try fast flood and a slower drain. I'll probably get problems with the drain blocking up in time, but hey, I'm willing to give it a try. So yeah, yellow pump down at the bottom will pump out of that tank, fill up both of the beds at the same time hopefully, and they'll then drain through those drain holes, and those drain holes happen to actually take a 40mm piece of pipe perfectly down the middle, so I can actually restrict the flow any rate I want with a media guard in there. So I think I've got it all hopefully watertight. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and then I'm going to put some water in there, see if it all drains to the right place, and if that works I'm going to try the pump out. This is what I was hoping for. Okay, so we've got something like 40 litres of water there, and the beds are empty at the moment, and I'm going to have to switch this on and then stand back because otherwise I can't get it in shot. So here goes. I think you can say those beds are flooding quite quickly. Even without restricting the drain on them. certainly flooding quite rapidly. And that's the pump's hit the bottom there. And there we are, that's without restricting the drain, that's just 40mm drain straight down there. And that pump can shift so much water. So that takes care of flood, and looks like drain pretty much takes care of itself with just a media guard thrown in there. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I can turn that pump on for something like 30 seconds every 30 minutes and just cycle the beds very, very quickly whenever I want it. A different take on flood and drain beds. No bell siphon there. Just a ridiculously overpowered pump I bought by mistake. But got to use it for something. I'm really not sure I'm going to get bored of this ever. There she goes. Yay, flood, flood! And it certainly does flop nice and fast. We get about 40 seconds or so before our reservoir's totally emptied. I was expecting it to keep up with that, since it's going out on inch thick pipe and coming back on inch and 3/4, inch and a half rather. Look at that. Flooding nicely there. And I say again, how cool is that? So I've thrown together these media guard drain restrictors just out of a bit of 43mm ABS pipe, and they just sit perfectly in the plug hole. I did heat them up with the blowtorch a bit just to snug them in there, but they sit nicely in the plug hole there, and they'll slow down the drain a bit, but obviously the higher the water level gets, the more is able to drain, and they finish up just underneath the height of the bed, so they should also act as an overflow if the slots all get filled up with roots or something like that. So I've just been with my angle grinder and I've made a number of slits down the side of each of those feeder tubes. So all 4 of those now feed in through the slits at the side, which means we're not bubbling water across. I still can't resist giving it another try. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong switch. Try again. Here it comes. Lovely rapid flood going on there. Draining nicely. And that's about as long as we can run for, because we're all out of water at that point. So we just have to wait for it to flood back in. Now obviously when this has got the clay balls in, the water level will be a lot higher than it is currently, which is what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to throw some media in now, give it a wash. Looking at this stuff, you'd think that I actually knew what I'm doing, but really, I haven't a clue. I just watch YouTube and then go, that looks like fun, and copy it. These are working superbly. I need a little bit more media in here, but I ran out, so I need to go and buy another bag of hydrocorn. But yeah, I'll just see if I run this, it's probably too loud. So the water is filling up beautifully, it's filling up to just below, well, it's filling up to pretty much the level of the surface, because I could do with another inch of hydrocorn. It's draining beautifully. It's basically doing exactly what I was hoping for. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds of running the pump, probably about 30 seconds of running the pump to fill both of these beds to the right height, to pretty much, you know, an inch below the top of the media, when I've got some more media to go in there. So all that I need now is some plants. I'm not sure if this setup will remain. I don't know how noisy that pump is going to be. It might wake us up at night, we'll find out. If that's a problem, I do still have the option of putting bell siphons where I've got the drain. This was my cunning idea. I actually made this so I can just put bell siphons in there and a smaller pump, and it can be a constant fill siphon drain. But right now, since I made the mistake of buying an oversized pump, this seemed like a fun way of doing things. So yeah, it seems to work quite well. And no fine tuning of a bell siphon. So now I need to get some onions and some garlic to go in there, get all that on the go. But I'm very happy with the way that's turned out. Yeah, cool, good project. Thanks for watching, folks, see you next time.